YouTube family? Blacc Tone checking in, man. I just felt like, it was time for me to just, come out my comfort zone and be able to live in my truths and really speak on things that is on my heart when it comes to this life that we live. A lot of times I try to be so perfect, and the fact that I try to be so perfect, it'll put anxiety, fear, and just lack of confidence in my mentality, just based off of just how I grew up, things I've seen, things I've been through, and it'll be hard for me really to trust in myself when it came to moving in this life. And it's funny, like the fact that a person of my caliber, I say, would have those type of things going on with them in life. But one thing I had to learn is that we are human, and that we are children of God, and that we aren't perfect. And for that reason, I gotta go full throttle in this life. And just really gotta give thanks to God for the mentality and just the person that He made me to be, because there's only one me. There'll never be another Anthony Dion Nicholson Jr., and I'll never be you. So for that sake, like, why not be my best self? Why not be able to live in my truth so that I can be beneficial for myself and the people here on this land? And a lot of times I'll be like, how should I go about it? What would be beneficial for others? And one thing I had to figure out was that I gotta be beneficial for myself first. And it could be challenging, but shoot, like, I'm built for really anything. So at the end of the day, I was full-fledged ready to endure anything that came my way. And so like really just making this video, because for the past, really since I left college, never really spoke too much on why I made the moves I made. And there's plenty of things that I could speak on within college. I'm gonna tap in all that later, but just speak on like why I made the decision to do what I do it, and decide really not to continue playing football, and pursue just the entrepreneurship lifestyle. And really, a lot of times I would not necessarily doubt myself, but I would seek for other people's opinions on how I should move and how I should, do things. And it wasn't just people, it was, people that I loved. So, I took the things that they said and their advice, sincere. And a lot of things that I learned was, that you can't really trust too many of others' opinions, and not necessarily not trust it, but you can't think too much of their opinion. You gotta listen to it, hear it out, but then you gotta, sit back and understand what you got going within your own life and make the best decision for you. And not really just be biased when it comes to, others' opinions and just this life. You just gotta just go with your intuition and what you feel is right. And the lovely thing is that's how I always moved in this life. Cause shit, when I was 7, Pops passed away. That, was one of the worst but the best things that could have happened to me, really. Cause it left me with, a lot of misguidance, but it gave me a stronger, faith, in God and in the spiritual life. Just knowing, that somebody who I truly loved, who I physically could, touch, see, talk to, and that would give me that love. And then he just, in the snap of a gunshot, could be gone. And yeah, so that really just kind of hindered me a lot in this life, and I would really not know which way to go. And so one thing that I knew was I'm finna live my best life in the sense of, my pops, and make sure that I go hard in his name and that I live my best life through him. And that's what I've been doing. And so really, it's a lot of things that, can slow you down in this world and make you not trust and believe in yourself. And, thank God, I know there's a God, and that I truly believe, and I truly have faith in God, and that, I truly know that there is a God. And, it's been a amazing journey. And I suffered, but I'm all the way up. And so really, I would just be contemplating on how am I gonna do things? How is things gonna go? What are people gonna say? How am I gonna be when it comes to the things that I say, and how am I gonna be perceived, or this and that? Just a lot of things that truly don't matter, I would worry about. And shoot, I don't know. I say really, playing ball was one of the best things too that happened to me also, because I would always say that I'm gonna be better than my pops. Like anything he did, I'm gonna try to top it, and I'm gonna make sure that when I leave this earth, that my kids could say the same about me and do the same, be better than me. So that was one thing that I would always tell myself whenever I would wake up in the morning and just go about playing ball. And so was truly blessed, and a lot of people wasn't in the position that I was in. And I'm forever grateful for that. Won't ever just forever grateful for it. And so really, playing football was a eye opener in this world for me also, because it was everything. It was literally everything. And I thought it was everything. It was everything, at that time. And you know, moving from Compton to Dallas, Compton to Grand Prairie, it really was an eye opener, a true eye opener, because you know I'll speak on truly the Cali life later, but it was an eye opener because at the end of the day, that was the first time I started to see that it was so much more in life, and that you know you could be in a less fortunate situation and be able to get out of it and you know be in a better situation. Shout out to my moms too. Oh man, if it wasn't for moms, man, I don't know where I'd be, man. I'd probably literally either be dead or in jail or in some violence. I probably could have, you know, played football in Cali. You get some cold dudes out there also, but where I was, just the mentality that I was, you know, that I was obtaining and that I was seeking. I already know I wouldn't have been down the right path, because it took me a little bit as I got to Texas to be able to, you know, really see my true potential and be able to put the, you know, all the BS, the, you know, the fighting, the, you know, being bad in school, just being ignorant as a youngin'. You know, it was really a blessing for my mama to do what she did. Forever thankful for you. And like really, so like, you know, playing ball, you know, I was blessed to have, you know, I want to say like 14 or 15 offers, you know, to go to school for free, you know, like. And it's funny because at that time I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, shoot, I'm going hard on the field. Like, I deserve all this, and which I truly did. But I didn't understand what that was, you know, doing to my mentality and my psychology in my life. And, you know, it was loving because at the time in high school, you know, getting a lot of things I'm gonna speak on later, but just gotta touch on it just so I could tap in to where I'm going. But like, just at the end of the day, you know, playing football, you know, was, you know, blessed to be as handsome as I am, and you know, had the females. Mama made sure that, you know, I had the nicest clothes on my back, you know, the best of shoes, the best of, you know, anything that she knew that, you know, would be beneficial for her son to help him be his best self. She for sure did it. You know, she worked them extra hours. She worked the multiple jobs. She was gone half the day. I come home. I had a house to me and myself, me and my sister sometimes, and be able to, you know, live that life of just a young free boy who felt like I could do whatever, but I had the mentality that, you know, I had a goal and I had a mission that, you know, had to be accomplished, and that was, you know, make sure that my mama didn't pay for my college education. Ninth grade, I literally told my mama, you're not gonna have to pay for me to go to school. And I made that happen, literally. So, you know, all praise to God for that, for real, for real. But it's just funny because, you know, like I look back at all that right now, and you know, I'm just so thankful for it. And you know, a lot of people would, you know, be ungrateful for situations, but I'm so thankful for it, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here right now. And that's just really how I live life. And you know, playing ball, going to college, it was, I would say in the past, it was really one of the worst times of my life. But now that I think about it, the life that I'm living right now. Like, it was a great time. It was a great time. It was a blessing. It was truly a blessing. I was able to really see a lot of things, and a lot of things that I didn't think was, well, no, I did think it was a lot of things that I did think that was for me, that wasn't for me internally. And I was seeking for a lot of things that was external, based off of the just the say just the lack of love, and that I just didn't have from my fam. Me moving from Cali out here, I was away from my fam. I would always go back to Cali every chance I got to go see them, just because I was very family oriented. That was me, just growing up, because I knew what it was like to have a broken family, and a family not be together since she was a youngin. And so yeah, I don't know. It's all I could just do is just give praise to God, because once again, if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here right now. So I'm forever thankful, no matter what. And yeah, like, so just at the end of the day, just really decided to stop playing football because of, well, really it was because I didn't get drafted. And it was during COVID too, and the free agency process was something that I felt would be a waste of time in the long run. And because really I knew my potential, I knew exactly how good I was, but it was a lot of things, not a lot of things, it was a couple things that just hindered me when it came to being my best self in the football atmosphere. It was just first lack of confidence, lack of guidance when it came to having somebody to be able to talk to, and then they give me the proper feedback on how I need to handle anything that happened within a situation in football. And just lack of confidence and lack of guidance. And that lack of confidence and lack of guidance really came when I got to college and got in an unfamiliar territory with people that I ain't know. And I had to learn to grow and grow a relationship. But I didn't know them, and Baylor was Baylor was for sure a place that was gonna challenge you, gonna give you a true challenge, especially the year that I came in, literally. And I mean, I don't really want to be like I was this and this. The numbers will tell you what I was, good and bad. Tape will tell you too, but a lot of times that don't really, it's a lot of things that go on under the scenes that will hinder a person to truly be their best self. And I feel like that was me, and it was all for a purpose. But I wanted people to see that purpose more than I truly wanted to work for that purpose. And that was truly my problem. Working was like, and don't get me wrong, like, I worked my ass off, but for sure could have did more. It was way much more that I could have did. My potential, was through the roof, but I was selling myself short because, I was worried about things that truly didn't matter in the long run. And a lot of times I would fall short to my goals and the things that I said I was going to accomplish because I would be worried about others' opinions and just things that, wasn't gonna help me make it to where I wanted to make it to. And so basically, you know, had a a decent career when it come to being that person that people can depend on. Like I felt I was pretty dependable, and knowing that I was dependable, that was really everything to me. Fuck what how people the things that people wanted me to do on the field, and the touchdowns, the receptions, the making people look a fool on the field. Like fuck all that. Like I want to know. I mean, yeah, I want to know if I could be depended on. And the people, I'm pretty sure, you can ask any teammate of mine or anybody in the past, they for sure could depend on me, and that's on everything. And for that, I stood tall on that. But just going through the challenges that I went through within college, and then facing the things that I had to face, it put me in a situation where I was like, this don't feel right, and I'm giving out more energy than I'm receiving to I want to say just really to a coaching staff, to to a coaching staff that's not giving me the proper energy back. And like at the end of the day, like who's to blame? Nobody's to blame, but that's what the situation was, and that's what I felt that I needed at the time, but I wasn't getting it. So it ever since I was a youngin', like it's funny because whenever I don't know, like you do something in the past, you probably bound to repeat it again in the future. And when I was young, when I quit, like I remember anytime I was unhappy about something, like I'd be like, yeah, I'm good on this. Like I quit, and as long as I knew I could go home to my mom, I was good. I wasn't tripping about too much, and so that was just my mentality. But this time I felt it's a little bit different though, because I felt I was working hard, giving my blood, sweat, and tears, to an organization, to a school that really didn't give a fuck about me, truly. And that's one thing that didn't sit well with me, because it's like I really just went through hell and back to get to this, school, and to be able to, yeah, it was a blessing, that they, gave me the opportunity 100%. I'm not knocking that, but it's different. It's different for everybody. But on my behalf, and, as a young black male in this, society, it was difficult. And when you don't feel that, love, from people who you don't know and that you giving your all to, it'll just, tear you down inside. And, it'll cause me, to truly go home. We playing ball, so at the end of the day, I wouldn't really be too much worried about it, because shit, I go home, shit, after working my ass off, shit, me and the homies, we getting high. We, talk about what the fuck we going through, and saying fuck it, and then repeating it for 5 years straight. So really, when I decided to quit, I'm like, this don't feel right. It's something within me that, doesn't feel right. It don't feel right. And I had to really, part ways in a way that I didn't never expect. But it's something that I had to do. And even though I didn't necessarily do it the right way, I felt like it had to be done. And for that, I made that move. I made that move. Um, you know, but you know, after that, went to, New Mexico State, had an amazing year just because of the fact that I was around people who truly, truly cared about me and truly felt like they needed me. And I felt like, I needed them. And that was an amazing feeling. Amazing feeling. I enjoyed every bit of it. Even though I enjoyed, Baylor also. But New Mexico State was a different feeling. It was a different feeling, a feeling that I truly needed. And so thankful for that. But once it's a different type of caliber of teams that, I was playing with. They had a D1, but the looks is gonna be different from, scouting. And there's a lot of things that I didn't understand at that time that I felt that, I knew because I trusted in myself. I was betting on myself. I already knew the type of person that I was and what I could do. So I was betting on myself, but I was still, lacking the true confidence and the guidance. So without those two things, you ain't gonna be able to do too much. And so I was able to only, do exactly what, God needed me to do. And so, handle pro day. I handled that like a pro. I could have had a better 40 time, but I ain't know how to fucking start the motherfucking 40. That was what it was. Like after the first 10, I'm taking off, but the first 10, my start was ass. And if you know me, like I didn't fuck with track, so getting in them blocks and getting in that crunchy stance was kind of like, I got big thighs and shit, so like that shit was kind of awkward for me type shit to get in that skinny ass pose and take off. And so routes, lovely. What else? It's just funny because people don't even know I played QB all my life. Then, when I got to college, went to Baylor as a corner on my perception, knowing what I could do at that. And switched to receiver, then, finished that out. Playing receivers is pretty easy. As long as you, can, I don't know, playing receiver is easy. And so really, I handle my business the way I knew I needed to handle it. But a lot of times in this life, it be a lot of things that are out of your control. You gotta, control the things within as best as possible before things get out of your control. So you can be like, I, gave him all. I did everything I needed to do. It is what it is. I ain't tripping on what happened. I didn't truly understand that at the time. I would just focus on just things that truly didn't matter once again. And so really, once I knew that I wasn't finna get drafted, I'm working my Amazon Flex Drive. I'm watching the draft the whole way from start to end, seeing the what happened. And soon as it got to that last pick, I already knew my damn name wouldn't get called, but I was just like, damn, like they picking up these niggas that I know is not fucking with me. And just knowing that really tore me apart. And like I realized, just started crying. Like these niggas got me fucked up, cause like, yeah, they just had me fucked up in my mentality, but I had myself fucked up. And so, it was something that was truly an eye opener too. But it was a blessing because, um, I was talking to my agent. I'm like, so what's up? Like, he telling me a couple teams, trying to fuck with me, and I'm like, whoa, like, okay. But then he talking about, ain't no, they're not doing no signs or anything because of COVID or this, and this. And I'm like, well, I'm working this fucking Amazon Flex job. Like, I'm tired of working this motherfucker. I'm ready to, try to go play ball or do something in that nature. And so really when that happened, I'm like, damn, like, what's next? But it was so lovely because I kind of already knew what was next. In New Mexico, me and my girl was just chilling. I don't know who it was though, where I seen just investing, and when I seen that, I'm like, whoa, like it's money else to be made somewhere else, and all I knew was money in sports. Literally, my backup jobs was gonna be, nigga, I was either gonna drive 18 wheelers or I was gonna be a police officer. Them was the things that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do if I don't play football. And so once I figured out about this investing life, I'm like, whoa, like, why would I continue to give my body, my heart, my soul, my mind to people who truly don't give a fuck about me when I can give all that to myself? I know I care about myself more than anybody on this earth. So if I can give myself, my mind, my mentality, my confidence, my trust in myself right, and apply everything that I've been applying, nigga, what? So really, like, was like, yeah, I'm finna take off. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, once I'm, figure this out, like, figured out, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going full fledged. I told my agent, I said, I'm good. Like, I'm good on ball. You can just drop me with whatever. Like, I'm good. Like, you sure? I'm like, I promise you, I'm good. So I'm like, first thing, I'm really hit up the homies, let them know, like, yeah, I'm good on this. I'm finna go start this new life. It's another story, but really, some believed, some didn't, and that was a true eye opener, because I always believed in the people that I loved and the people that was around me, and no matter if I could see their vision the way they seen it, I believed in them more than anything. And that was one thing that I prided myself in, just that love aspect of that belief in that support system, because I know what it's like to I don't know what it's like. I seen it through my pops and how him and his friends went, and how they mentalities are, and the type of people that they are once he left this earth. Once I seen that, I judged my life based off of how he lived his life, and how the things that he went through, and just the people that he encountered with, how they went about everything within him here in the afterlife. And so once I started to feel resentment from the people that was close to me, it was kind of weird, because I'm already lacking a lot of things that a typical person like me say they're not lacking or shouldn't be lacking, but I was lacking some things. And so at the end of the day, it caused me to really just shut down, because I'm like, we thought we was a team. We supposed to be a team when it comes to this belief shit. And it was a huge eye opener, And it was a lot of things that, as I continue with this journey, will get brought up and will get spoken on. And it was things that caused me to really go right when I had to look to my left and look past people and really just continue to grow for Tone. And ever since really that has happened, truly it made me a better person. It's truly opened up my eyes way farther than I truly could imagine. And it just truly let me know that all I need, which I knew this before, but now I know this more than ever, is that I can't depend on nobody more. Excuse me. I can't depend on nobody more than I depend on myself. And not that I was always dependent on people, but just that love, that love that I just had in my heart would make me, very vulnerable to people, very, giving. Anybody need me to do something, I'm right there. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna do this for you. Fuck with what I need. Fuck what I gotta do. I'm doing it for you, just out the love of my heart. And a lot of people weren't like that. A lot of people, and not like that. And they'd do it in certain instances, but when it don't matter if you can't do it when your back is against the wall, because that's when it really matters. And at the end of the day, my eyes was turned left to me, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And so really I had to just go seek within. And shout out to my girl, man. She really was that rock for me, and she really let me know that you don't need nobody, Tone. You could do it within yourself. Literally, you could do it within yourself. You got a strong support system. The people who love you. The people who truly care for you and gonna be with you when you at your lowest or whenever you going through what you going through. And that's all that matters. And that's all I ever needed from her, was just to know that somebody truly cared about me. Didn't give a fuck about everything that I could bring to the table. They truly, loved me for me. And that was everything. That was everything. And so that's one thing that I will never take for granted. She forever in my corner on everything. And so really just going through that journey of really finding out who am I truly deep down. Fuck the things that people thought that I was, the material things that made me me, or just the accomplishments that I made. Like, who am I deep down to the core? And that was something that I truly had to figure out. And even though I knew who I was, I had to truly do some soul searching. And it's been an amazing journey. And literally I've been just searching for clarity, just really searching for clarity. And one thing I knew I had in my corner was God and my pops, literally. So I feel like I can go to war with anybody. I really didn't give a fuck who you was. So with that on my side, I knew I can accomplish anything. So with that being said, I took on one of the most one of the hardest challenges, or not even a challenge. How would I even describe it? But I just endured in one of the toughest things a human could endure in. And that's truly learning how to, invest within the foreign exchange market. And it's so lovely because at the end of the day, it opened my eyes to a lot of things also. And I had to really just come to an understanding of just who am I and what do I really want to accomplish in this world when it comes to the internal things. Fuck the external things. The external things ain't gonna be here with you, when you 6 feet deep, whenever, you behind bars, whenever, you in a hospital bed. Those things not gonna be right there with you. So what's the internal things that's gonna make you be your best self? And that's really what I was fighting for from the whole jump, was be better than my pops. Everything that he accomplished on this land, be 10 times better than it. And so, as I started to endure in that, I started to truly see what this life was truly about. Opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it was so lovely because I was already, a visionary. I was always, thinking. And it'll be a lot of times I, had anxiety, so I wouldn't be able. I'd be thinking about 10 things at once, so it'd be hard for me to really just focus in on one thing that I needed to, do or say. I'd be, thinking so much, and that's with anything in this life. I would just have anxiety when, I would be met with resistance, and in my head, I'd just be just quiet and just be thinking a lot of shit, but I wanted to say so much, but I truly didn't know how. And so, once I really got it invested in this lifestyle, it just opened up to my eyes to how people truly was, and just how the society, treat our people and make our people think, or all that. And I ain't fuck with that. So, it brought me even closer to God, because it's like, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. If you don't really believe in, what you got going, somebody gonna tell you what you is, and you gonna believe that. And like I said, a lot of things that I was lacking would make me believe a lot of things that people would tell me, and I'm like, are you right? Sound kind of right, but deep down, I don't think you know me. But I'm gonna listen to what you say, because if we having this conversation, I trust in your word. And that's one thing that I had to learn, that I couldn't, I couldn't truly just, what's the word? I don't know, but I just truly couldn't fuck with it. And the lovely thing is, man, like, we are all imperfect. We are all children of God, and nobody has the answers. Nobody knows, what's gonna go on after. All we, have is right now. And that's amazing to me, because like, I be thinking too much about anything when that don't matter. As long as I'm living, like, at the end of the day, I know me. I know where my heart is. I know my, the type of person that I am. So as long as, I'm living in my truths and being my best self through that, it's nothing that I should feel ashamed of, feel less of, or anything. And so, like, really, I just felt like this, had to be done. And I was continuing, to truly worry about the external things instead of working on the internal things, even if that's, being on social media, if that's making videos and talking about the truth, talking about things that I know are going to be beneficial for me, but I also know that it's going to be beneficial for, my kids. And seeing that, their daddy was, a real stand-up guy when it came to living his life, but just know that he was confused, he was, misguided, he was, a little lost. And so at the end of the day, knowing that those things, happen, and then the fact that, I'm going to where I'm going to go, and then you see the transition, like, that's everything to me. And for that, I can't slow down. I can't, hinder myself and let, myself fall victim to the temptations in this world, literally. And at the end of the day, it's things that, I'm still working on. I'm still growing, and I'm still, getting better at. It's a daily journey. And all I know is, as long as I, continue to, wake up and be able to open my eyes, see, smell, hear, all those five senses is still in touch. Can't nobody tell me nothing, because I'm a child of God. And at the end of the day, I believe in heart, honor, and respect, when it comes to, living this life and living it for, yourself, and then also giving that, just love to others, and that's something that, I would struggle with just based off of how I came up. And I'm here. I'm for sure here. I'm fully present. I'm well aware of it all. Don't ever think I don't know, what's going on, and I got the heart, I still, got the compassion. I still got the love, but it's a lot of things that's not being accepted no more. And that's just what it is. That's truly what it is. And, every single day I'm going hard. I'm going hard for me, my family, and my future kids, and my wife. And when that happened, I don't ever want to look back and say I didn't, live in my truths and be my best self, and that I faked, this, this road to get here. And, I would felt like I would do that if I wasn't able to help my people for the proper cause, and not, just for the proper cause. And it's a lot of things that I'm truly gonna speak about, cause trust me, I done lived a hell of a life. I'm blessed. I feel like I'm fucking 50, nigga. But just turned 25 though, so I'm blessed, man. I'm really blessed to be here. So from here on out, I'm going in. It ain't gotta be perfect. Things don't gotta be, in TikTok shape. Like, nah, man, I ain't for that. I'm gonna give it to you, real raw and uncut and from the core. For real, from a child of God. That's what I'm giving it to you. So, I'm not perfect. And I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. But things I don't understand. But sometimes I need to be alone, And bitch, just don't kill my vibe, for real.
Fuck you wanna be on the streets talking about what you do for, and you ain't doing it. Fuck you wanna be in the club looking like you do something for, and you don't really do it. Fuck you wanna stand next to a nigga like me that really do it, and you don't do it. The fuck from by me, man.
Aquazar 33.
Taking challenges, I ain't really scared of them. Never been afraid, I'm a daredevil. That's how I got to where I am on that rare level. Too many can't relate, it's fright all on their schedule. I'm a different breed, I don't got friends, I just keep up with my enemies, praying they remember me. So when I pull up, I can kill them mentally, laughing at their ass like, nigga, you gon' finish me? In what world is you living? I'm from a place where everything ain't given, everything ain't glitter, everything ain't gold. And if it is, everything getting sold. I'm talking coke, pills, rocks, yams, all just to get fucked by Uncle Sam. See, I know niggas in the field who don't really give a damn, but this one here gotta really feed the fam. So I'm out here on the grind, Sunday to moonlight. I ain't never stopping, I been at it 2 nights. Swinging for the fence like I got 2 strikes. Giving them my all, just trying to do right. But when I kill them, they say I do them wrong. I put them in the coffin and play